Hi everybody, this is a green and red Arcane Bombardment deck that wants to use the new card from Brothers War, Titania's Command. This is a flexible and expensive sorcery that, if we can tuck it up under an Arcane Bombardment and use it repeatedly, gives us some really nice effects that go with a lot of the cards we already use in Arcane Bombardment anyway. So let's go through Titania's Command real quick. It costs 6 mana, and we get to choose 2 of these effects. So this first ability often provides us with a pretty good chunk of life gain, as sometimes we do have to catch up after playing Bombardment, since our opponent's been doing a lot in the first few turns, and then we set up with a board wipe into an Arcane Bombardment, and then we often don't have much left over unless we start playing our spells. The second ability isn't too relevant for us because we're often accelerating with big score. However, when you repeatedly use this, it can help just pull lands out of the deck and make our draws more relevant in the late game. But by far my 2 favorite abilities on this card are the last 2. So we get to create a pair of green bear creature tokens, and then we get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature that we control. Now, this is alright on its own, and I would love to repeatedly cast just this by itself, but if you know me and you know Arcane Bombardment, then Burn Down the House is kind of a staple in an Arcane Bombardment deck just because it fills 2 different roles at the same time, which is wonderful. However, the Devil role, in which it creates 3 1/1 red Devil creature tokens, pairs really nicely with the last ability on Titania's Command as we put 2 counters on those devils in addition to the bears. So in addition to that, from the Brothers War, we're trying out 1 copy of the Fall of Kroog. Just wanted to give this a shot and see if we could throw it in and destroy some lands from our opponent, but it's a little too expensive to be really effective, but on the plus side, it does damage our opponent directly, so it's at least a little bit of damage. So this could be a flex spot going forward. Up in the 4 drops, we've got 2 Jaya Fiery Negotiator, great flexible card in red, makes monks, exiles cards off the top of our library, and if we're in a spot where they leave it alone long enough, we can copy red instants and sorceries, which, our deck's got plenty of that, so wonderful. Also got 3 copies of Big Score to help us accelerate into an early Arcane Bombardment and do a little draw and discard. Same with Electric Revelation. It's got a nice flashback effect instead of making 2 treasures, so that's kind of nice as well if we're running out of things to do. One of my new favorite cards from the Brothers War set is Brotherhood's End. It's a 3 mana, basically 3 mana, deal 3 damage to each creature kind of board wipe effect. We don't use the secondary ability too often yet, but I expect that may change as we get more comfortable with the Brothers War and we see what comes in the next expansion in Phyrexia itself. We're trying out Fog of War in here as well. It's sort of a fog for small creatures, but more importantly, it gains life for each creature on the battlefield. This wasn't too great. I wanted to try it out for some life gain. As you know, we have trouble stabilizing sometimes in this style of deck. So it was okay, not as good as some other cards I've seen from the Brothers War. We've got 2 Return to Nature in here, as well as 2 Abrade to take care of pesky artifacts and enchantments. As I mentioned previously, I expected to see a lot more artifacts with the launch of the Brothers War, given all the nice prototype creatures and just the really good stats on a lot of these artifact creatures coming out of the set. I think it's important for us to at least have an answer to that right now. We've got a few Lightning Strike to go to the opponent's face, and then as some 1-drops to kind of activate Arcane Bombardment on the cheap, we got 1 Play with Fire, 2 Commune with Spirits to go fetch a land or to go fetch Bombardment itself, and then 2 Tamiyo Safekeeping to mess with our opponent's removal a little bit. So now let's get over and see some of these games on the ranked standard ladder. I'm going to stick with you for some commentary, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, this looks passable for a GRUUL Arcane Bombardment deck. Opponent looks to be on some kind of Dimir. Alright, well, quick land number 3 from us as we kind of do the back and forth passing game. Let's try to get off an Electric Revelation, pitch this Fog. Since I'm guessing they're control, it's not going to be too useful in this matchup. Alright, they let that through. See what they do about Jaya. There's the counter for Jaya. Okay. Always respect a control player if they can just wait to negate the more important thing. Let's make some devils, try to get some pressure on them. We want them to use all of their counters. Oh, good, they don't have one. We want them to use all of their counters before we get to bombardment. So we're just trying to throw things at them, get those counters out of hand. And for my budding control players out there, you don't necessarily counter the revelation, you counter the good thing that they draw with the revelation. So just FYI. Let's get in with some devils. Yeah, let's just try to get another revelation through. Discard this card that's not too relevant. Brotherhood's End. Probably not going to have a lot of use here. That gets through. The flip side to that axiom of, Kyrie. Well, that's going to be fun for one of us, I guess. All right, good. There's Bombardment. Let's get that down. Probably just pass here. Good, good. Anyway, what was I saying? The flip side of that axiom is if your opponent draws too many cards and you're on control, then you often struggle to catch up. Toxrill, very good. An excellent situational answer to our mini board of devils. However, if they're not running Invoke Despair, we could be in a good position to get this bombardment going here. Yep. Let's take a moment to big score. That'll leave us with some treasures to cast whatever we want to do next. And we'll get Titania's Command in the yard. Hopefully pull that up pretty soon. All right, get rid of some slugs, at least. We are in a dicey spot here. If we take this, we go to 1. We've got a Tamiyo Safekeeping to gain a little bit of life, which I think is what we're going to have to do. But at least if they counter it, we're still alive. We're just not happy about it. Excellent. We pull up a Titania's Command with that. Just debating, do we want to cast both of these? In what order do we do these things? All right, let's... Yes, good. Just want to make sure we ordered that correctly. So we Brotherhood's End, get a little damage on our opponent's creatures, and make a couple of giant bears. Throw them both at Toxrill in case they're sitting on some instant removal. I guess not. Toxrill will snack on itself to draw a card. All right, nice. We only take 6 there from Kyrie. Oh, I think we can get him on this. Let's exile Toxrill before Graveyard Shift. Nice. Oh, okay. Good game, opponent. All right. Well, we can't keep a 2-lander. We can afford to put one of these lands back, though, especially if we're sitting on Electric Revelation to do some early card draw. All right. Just pass it on back. Not much we can do at the 2-mana slot. Thalia. Forever the bane of my existence in Arcane Bombardment. All right, well, that means we're a turn off of some of these spells. But luckily, these creatures aren't too fast right now. So we'll take a nice slow 4 there. All right. Lightning Strike, pretty good here. I mean, we're definitely playing this land. Probably going to have to Lightning Strike Thalia just so that we can leave up the option to burn down the house next turn if we draw, which we're definitely going to have to do. Ouch. All right. Let's get rid of Thalia. We'll take a little bit from these other 2 soldiers. Excellent. Right on time. Let's wipe this board. All right, opponent's still having a few cards in hand, though, so we're going to need to speed this up. Okay, just a couple of blue-white cards here. Luckily, not very hasty stuff coming from that deck. I think we're going to have to big score here and leave up... Oh, there's a recruiter that's going to get him some more stuff. Let's big score and see what we pick up. If we can get a lightning strike, we can prevent a little damage here. Well, we've got this Brotherhood's End. I think we can just wipe the board pretty safely. Yeah. All All right, 3 damage to everything. Everything on the board, that is. Any protection? Okay, opponent using the ability to go looking for another soldier. They find Thalia, but Thalia's a little late to this party. Okay, Thalia comes down, but in response, we're going to go ahead and big score just to sneak that in. Couple of lands, so we're definitely at the point now where we can pretty much play what we want to, even with the tax of Thalia going on. All right. Dennick visits us from the afterlife, and we get a Jaya. We may just have to get rid of this flyer and pay a little more for Jaya here. I think we've got enough to play her. Yes. All right, Jaya. This better be the best monk you have ever trained for anything. I need this monk to dodge removal. I need it to just be a stalwart blocker. Okay. We got one more turn. Another Jaya, you say? Let's make a monk. They didn't have anything last turn. We've got some emergency life gain in Tamiyo's Safekeeping, but if we can block... If we can block, that should buy us enough time to Revelation using this second Jaya for discard fodder. Okay, we get it, and we pick up 2 Titania's commands. Well, then I think that means we make tokens. And...
Go on. Impress me.
Well, this will help get us out of harm's way in case they draw into removal. I think this is right. We have another one, so let's see how this goes. We gained a chunk of life. Okay, reinforcements. All right, so that wasn't a bad call, but that chunk of life also was some nice extra insurance. So they're trying to go wide too. They don't know we have this second command in hand. So I wanted to... Oh. I think we can trade here. Right? 1 token for... 1 token for Thalia? Sure. So the goal with playing, with getting that chunk of life was that we can still make bears this turn and make another monk and then put tokens on everything this turn. We'll see if that was the right play or not.
You're no match for my students.
Yeah, I think this is what we got to do. More bears. Let's be honest. When is the answer not more bears? All right, good game. Well, a lot of lands, but the path forward is clear, as they say, and we've got Burn Down the House and Arcane Bombardment, so we'll just count on the top of our deck to fill in the cracks, and hopefully we can draw into something besides lands to do here. Opponent going fetching. All right, Fog of War here. And Bankbuster, so probably some kind of slower, maybe control-y deck Fog of War then not going to be that useful. If only Fog of War drew us a card, that would be perfect. And, Circuit Mender. I really like Circuit Mender. It's kind of like a mini Solemn Simulacrum. Let's go ahead and make some Devils. Just to get a board presence going and get this burn down the house in the graveyard. Okay. I was about to say, I don't think we're going to need a board wipe, but the opponent bringing a board wipe of their own. So let's point these 3 Devils at their face. Opponent draws off a Circuit Mender. Well, let's make them have it. Let's go ahead and Bombardment. The upside is great if they have no answer for this. And lately, folks have not been having too many answers for it. So, Junji, very nice. Crewing the Bankbuster immediately and smacking us for 4. Well, I think we can afford to draw with this and still have enough mana to cast a couple of spells. So do we want to do one now? Yeah, let's just Lightning Strike the opponent's face. Burn down the house. Think we can safely get rid of Junji. Let's see what they got. Just Circuit Mender. Nothing in our yard, obviously. Alright, so they can bring back a Mender. Or make us discard. They choose discard. Let's pitch these useless things that we can't even cast right now. And we've got a Safekeeping up, so any targeted removal we can save Bombardment, unless it's Invoke Despair. Sheoldred. Alright, luckily we're at a high enough life total for now that that's okay. Oh, but you know what? They've crewed the Bankbuster, and we've got a burn down the house under here. Let's hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh, it's too much for the opponent. Good game. Not a bad hand, actually, for Arcane Bombardment deck. Let's keep this. We've got 3 lands, all of our colors. We've got Arcane Bombardment itself. I think the only thing that I would love to see is probably a big score here. Alright, opponent on 2 mountains, but nothing coming out there yet. What madness is this? Okay. Okay. Well, I like it, but I'm not going to let you keep it. So I've been hearing whispers of a kind of big red style, kind of mono red artifact control-y type of deck, and I'm wondering if this is kind of a stab at that. Could be. Okay. Elder Dragon War. Probably going to skip mode number 1. Alright, they just go straight to the 4/4 flyer. Still not a bad rate, and that's a fantastic card in a control deck. It's kind of like burn down the house levels of flexibility. So what else you got? I'm really curious. Okay, getting in for with the dragon. All right, just sitting on that mana. All right, well, we'll play our untapped land. Likely going to cycle this Ziatora's Proving Ground away. Opponent with a big score. All right. Opponent draws 2. Now the question is our opponent on Arcane Bombardment, or are they on just like straight control here? The Silex makes me think it's like kind of a weird control deck, but haven't seen a lot of creatures yet either. So what is this? Oh, that's the sneak attack for artifacts. Okay, I like what you're brewing here. All right, opponent going to get in for 4 again. Not much we can do about that yet. All right, well, we may just have to start chancing it here. Let's draw with this. Let's see if we still want a bombardment. All right, just a land. Well, bombardment's our ticket out of this situation, so... yeah, I think we can just... we're just going to have to lay this down here. Because we're already counting on 4 damage from the dragon, and then if they sneak attack in a, one of the prototype creatures that have huge stat lines, they could pretty much just take us out in one shot. So we have to do this now. Mountain. All right. Big score. All right, they probably looking for something to sneak in here. Attacks with the dragon. That's pretty good for us. And just passes. Okay. All right. Well, we're not out of this yet. Let's commune. See what bombardment picks up. Abrade. Well, let's just decrease their treasure count. Commune. All right, finds us a land. We'll play a land. We've got a couple more ways to activate bombardment, and we've at least got this life gain from Safekeeping and Fog of War. But yeah, hopefully our opponent not able to cheat anything too bad for us into play. They've hit a couple of big scores now, so I'm really curious what they're sitting on in that hand. All right, attacks us down to 4. Let's Fog of War now. It wouldn't have prevented their damage from the dragon anyway. All right, well, we pull up Commune and Abrade. I guess we'll just take out another treasure. And Commune. All right, just a land. Oof. Burn down the house was under there. That would have been nice. Yeah, Commune can basically just pick us up a land or another bombardment in this deck. But it's a cheap way to get bombardment going. All right, I think we know Abrade's under there, so let's Lightning Strike the dragon. We'll point the Abrade at the dragon too, and see what else we can pick up here. Fog of War, okay. Nope, did I order this wrong? Yeah, maybe. I think Abrade kills the dragon. We get the land. Oh, nope, because the dragon's not dead yet. Great, so we still gain the life. Hey, you never know. We're low. That one life could be important. All right, opponent has plenty of mana now to even just hard cast these prototype creatures that I think they're hiding over there. But nothing, they just have a handful of removal. All right, let's bombardment again. Opponent doesn't know we're sitting on just lands here. We got to start finding some good stuff to do. All right, we have abraded 3 treasures. We're fog of warring just because we can, and we'll take the cycler to turn Commune into some card draw finally. Lightning strike to the face. Gain a little bit of life. Oh no. We pick up another Abrade. There really have not been as many artifacts around as I was expecting. Excellent draw. Burn down the house. That's just what we need to start closing this one out here. We might finally now see if they've been holding on to some removal this whole time for some creatures, which we are notoriously light on. Gain some life, lightning strike at the opponent. Commune just to get some lands out. Abrade this treasure because we can. Alright, just a land. A little bit of life, so we're back up to 10, and we've got 3 devils. What do you got, opponent? Alright, just taking the 3 for now. Let's hang on to this Abrade. We can, if they play nothing, we can at least point it at a devil and still get an activation that way, but still sitting on 4 lands. Oh, an opponent must not have much either. Alright, well, good game.